Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone Broadcast Network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X-Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X-Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X-Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
Welcome back to the X-Zone, everyone. I am Rob McConnell, and we're coming to you from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, Radio X across Europe, and our growing family of broadcast affiliates and satellite programming providers, and of course, our good friends at TalkStream Live. Now, before we get to our guests this hour, two very, very, very well-known ladies around the world, I'd just like to ask you one simple question, X-Zone Nation. How would you like to be part of UFO history? If that is a yes, I'd like you to go to this website. Not right now. Come on, gang, sit down. www.cubesatfordisclosure.com. That's www.cubesatfordisclosure.com. Two guests tonight, this hour here in the X-Zone. Two very famous guests. My first guest is the young lady that we know here at the X-Zone and have known for many years as the love psychic, the one and only Jill Dahne. Now, over the many years Jill's been on the show, we've talked about her mom, Micki Dahne, who is very famous in her very own right. And for the very first time, we have Micki Dahne with us tonight as well. So we have the two Dahnes are in the house against the one radio announcer. So Jill Dahne, Micki Dahne, welcome back to the X-Zone. And Micki, welcome to the X-Zone.
Why, thank you so much. It's so nice being here. I love Canada to begin with.
Well, you know what? We love you too, Micki. And before we went on air, we were talking about the good people at City TV and an experience you've had there. But Jill, you and I were talking over the past couple of weeks, and I know that there is something that is really bothering you. And, you know, let me say this, Jill. Over the years, I don't know how many psychics we've had on the show. Besides you and maybe one or two others, I couldn't tell you who the psychics were. In my book, Jill, you are the most credible, dead-on psychic that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. You are dead on.
Thank you.
There is no two ways about it. And I've learned over the past little while that There's a lot of jealousy and animosity when it comes to the psychic world. And
I say jealousy.
Jealousy. So if you'd like to let our listeners know a little bit about what we're talking about, we've got about 2 minutes before I can go. I have to take my break. So go ahead, Jill.
Okay. For years, I've just had someone who's just been a thorn, who used to be first came for a reading, and because you tell someone you don't believe they're intuitive, but and I believe everyone has intuition to an extent. But all they've been doing for years, and for the past years, as every show I've done, they want to do. Everything I have done, they've like tried to defame me, my reputation, and
it's a good reputation.
And my reputation, they'll write things, with their emails and write under so many different emails, and it's getting so out of hand where they formed a website now claiming about my mother, what my mom didn't do, which my brother had did.
Right.
So, and they're sending it out to many people, and this is like a spiritual person that's supposed to be spiritual, and it's so, it's mind-boggling. Like, I'm a strong person, and I try to, I always send out affirmations for everyone. I've never gone on a show and talked bad about anybody.
Nope.
Never. Even when all this has been going on for years, I've kept it to myself. But this one likes to try to destroy me, and she can't, because thank God, people that do know me have been sending me emails. How could this person do this? How could this person do this? What kind of person is this monster?
She's a sick lady. She's not even a lady. She's a sick bird. A dove.
Yeah.
She is.
No, it's worse than that. But I've never in my life, Rob, when we get back, I want to tell a story about what a rabbi said.
All right, stand
back
by.
In 1992.
Jill, stand by. Micki, great finally meeting you after all these years, and I look forward to speaking to you both on the other side of this break. And Jill, I have to say this before we go to break. You are nothing but good, my dear. There is nothing but good about Jill Dahne. So when somebody attacks Jill Dahne, they attack me, and I'm sorry, Jill, I'm not going to put up with it.
I love you. Thank you.
Love you too, sweetie. We'll be right back on the other side of this break. The one and only Jill Dahne and her mom, Micki Dahne, are my guests this hour. If you'd like to get a hold of Jill for a one-on-one consultation and see how great she is, her website is www.jilldahne.com. JILLDAHNE.com.
This is Kevin Randall. For nearly 30 years, I have been investigating the case of the Roswell UFO. I have interviewed hundreds of people and stood on the crash site. Now in Roswell in the 21st century, I have reviewed dozens of hours of audio and videotaped interviews, examined hundreds of files that relate to the crash, and have returned to Roswell in an attempt to put all that information into the proper perspective. For the first time in Roswell in the 21st century, I have made a dispassionate reevaluation of all that material and provide a new look at what happened. This is a book that clears away all the clutter that has hidden the truth for so long, strips away the various lies that surround the case, exposes the Air Force attempts at cover-up, and found a core of solid information that tells us all where the case stands today. Roswell in the 21st century will be available in just a few weeks. For more information, please visit my website at www.kevinrandall.blogspot.com.
Gibbs A. Williams, Ph.D., is a practicing psychoanalyst, supervisor, researcher, and author in New York City. Much of his life has been dedicated to understanding nature and the uses of meaningful coincidences or synchronicities. His radical and original non-Jungian, non-mystical, non-magical theory of synchronicities illuminates much of the fog surrounding this challenging and perplexing topic. His ideas and manners are fresh, presented in a style that is both entertaining and highly informative. He is also an expert on crisis intervention, specially focused on violence reduction for the police and citizens, mastering anxiety, frustration, and stress without the use of medication, and effectively preventing and treating heroin addiction. Dr. Williams can be contacted at his email address at gwwilliamsny11@aol.com or visit his website at www.drgibbswilliams.com.
This is Johanna Carroll, host of Dialogue with Divinity on the X-Zone Broadcast Network. While walking along Kaanapali Beach in Maui this past year, I kept discovering all these shells and coral in the shape of hearts. My dialogue with Divinity was very simple. Do you want me to do a retreat to heal people's hearts in Maui next year? And of course, the answer was yes. As a master spiritual teacher, I am offering you a neat retreat called Rise, May 8th through the 12th, 2017, and the chance of a lifetime to rest at a 5-star resort for 5 days and experience a spiritual renewal of your heart and soul. Kaanapali is one of the top 5 beaches in the world. This stunning resort has undergone a $40 million renovation. I walked the entire property, checked out the room choices on your behalf, and I must say it is stunning. Our conference room faces the ocean with sliding glass doors. Maui is known as Mother Maui because it is a soft, gentle, healing energy. In the embrace of Mother Maui, you will feel yourself rising from the limitations of an ordinary life to an extraordinary journey of peace, bliss, and harmony. A greater sense of clarity. Our Rise retreat ignites renewal in the sacred elements of air, water, earth, fire, and wind. There's plenty of free time to enjoy all that Maui has to offer. A small deposit is required now to reserve your space, as this retreat, it will sell out. For more details, please go to johannacarroll.com and register today. Aloha, and I'll see you in mystical Maui.
Welcome back, everyone. If you'd like to find out what's going on in the X-Zone, past, present, and future, visit us online at any social media site at xzoneradiotv.com. If you'd like to send me an email, xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, or during the show to studio@xzoneradiotv.com. And, of course, our main website, www.xzoneradiotv.com. Micki and Jill Dahne are our special guests this hour. Now, if you'd like to get a one-on-one consultation with Jill, who is the love psychic, and I'll tell you something, she is dead on, she is accurate, she learned from the best, her mom, Micki, www.jilldahne.com, and that's JILLDAHNE.com. Jill, so what do you think is going to happen, as a result of this attack on you? Not only is it a psychic attack, it's also an attack that are being manifested throughout social media. Like,
right?
What do you think's going to happen?
Well, she's been an attack on me for years,
mm-hmm.
and people, and then people that are spiritual, and that they always say, God, they're attacking us too, because association,
mm-hmm.
Friends by association,
yep.
They go after them as well. They're just they need help, if I could say, and they should preach what they give out to people. The words I say, I use. I use them on a
each other.
I
mm-hmm.
love each other. I am a giver. I've given, but they're opposite. And I do believe in karma. And I've always said that karma. I've always said karma may not happen when it's supposed to happen at that moment,
mm-hmm.
after someone does something to you. And I don't wish bad karma on anybody,
right.
But this person is going to get their karma for all the bad things that they have done. And I always wish them white light and always wish them well. But, how many times someone can do something like that? How many times, it's stressful. Look at Selena Gomez.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God I'm not in that situation. Thank God, someone else, if they went through what I went through, they wouldn't have been able to handle the things that these people have done. And there's so many cease and desist letters.
Really?
I was at Borders bookstore.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was at Borders bookstore, I was late, and I show up, and they said, Jill, there's all these flyers. This person came, and they gave a letter to the manager, and because I was asked, and they were not invited to Borders.
They never are.
They weren't. They would not have them there. They went and did book groups there, but they weren't invited to speak there. And they kept sending letters. Why is Jill allowed and we're not? That's what they did for every radio station or TV show I've done. Why is Jill allowed and we're not? So the flyers were everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I come, and they said, Jill, we have to show you something. I go, I don't want to see it, and I'm about to speak. Well, we picked all these up, and I was, devastated. I never had this happen. Then the second time, my mother said, Jill, wear a dragonfly on your shoulder. And I go, I don't want to wear. Put that rhinestone dragonfly on you. And I said, okay, I'll wear it. So we get to Borders, and I went to eat something. When I got back, this woman was there wearing dragonflies. I couldn't believe it. The whole T-shirt was rhinestone, the earrings, the necklace. And she was like an angel. She says, I picked up all these disgusting flyers, Jill. And it had my flyer, but then you open it up, and it's like Jill, 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 Jill. And I was like, oh, my God, thank you so much. And my mom was telling me, psychically, wear the dragon. So the third time, I was prepared. I got 2 bodyguards. We had the Palm Beach police involved. We get there. They catch the person by the neck, threw him out the store, and the police said, what is going on here? And I was shaking, and I'm like, I never had this happen to me. So I said, what are you doing? Who are you? Mm-hmm. And his name was Thomas Schmidt, and he said, I am here for so-and-so. And it turns out to be her boyfriend's best friend. We just found out. And when the attorney sent a cease and desist letter, she said, under my recollection, I don't know this person. Yes, she does. It was her boyfriend's best friend.
Her husband called her boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
Called me, and I wouldn't do it.
And you told the florist just recently, stop sending me flowers. I don't want them.
I told the florist, and beautiful flowers, but they came and they gave me the chills. And I called the florist. I said, if anything is to come, because a lot of people send me flowers if I'm ill, not feeling so great. But I said, do not, please don't, I don't want them. Mm-hmm. Give them to the street, anything. I don't want them from her. And the weirdest thing is that the girl with her, the woman with her,
right,
she's had a lot of tragedy in her life, but she had a crush on my son. And he took her to walk on we have a boardwalk in Hollywood, Florida. And he took one look at her and said, my God, we fill up the whole place. No, I don't care, Jill. She's like 500 pounds or more.
Yeah, but don't make fun of weight. Weight comes and weight goes, and
but she writes. She sits and writes books.
The weight has nothing to do with it. It's her inner part that has to do with it. You could be over. You could be fluffy. I say, yes, you could be fluffy, and then you could be, have a good heart. That doesn't mean anything. I need to lose some weight. I have to lose like 20 pounds, but I have a good heart. Someone needs to change their inner part. And they went online and spoke in my mother's name, under my mother's name, trying to hurt me as well. These are the things that these people do. It's really hurtful.
Because I have people like Casper Weinberg, Janet Reno, may she rest in peace. I loved her so much. You name them. The big ones have been there and have always been with me. So I get calls back. What are they doing to Jill? We're coming out there from Germany, from England. Remember on the radio show, the Germany, England, Jamaica, they all were going to come in and take care of this girl. And I said, you don't have to. God's watching. God's watching.
God's watching.
God watches
God,
one and all.
God works in mysterious ways. And like I said, I believe in karma.
Jill, have you or anyone representing you tried to sit down with this person and say, what will it take for you just to buzz or try to mediate
this letter. See, I have a good heart,
mm-hmm.
and I don't believe, regardless, they've hurt me.
Yeah.
I don't believe in suing someone, hurting someone, you know, and it's getting to the point where it's out of hand, you know.
But I'm sure it's affecting not only you, but
there's so many cease and desist letters you could
mm-hmm.
give someone.
But so why can't people out there know who they are? Well, you're not saying who is doing this to you.
Because she believes that two wrongs don't make a right.
I mention names on radio.
I'm not mentioning a name. I'm doing it reverse.
Okay.
It isn't a dove, it's a bird. It's a bird with a big focus.
Okay.
Micki?
Yeah.
I love you.
Yeah. I love you too. I love you too. But it's true. I've been around. My 85th birthday is Sunday.
God bless you.
I thought I was 84, but I'll be 85. And I've learned from wonderful people. Dr. Brian Weiss, who wrote many lives, many masters. And the readings I've done, I don't even go around telling people, but people that you would never believe would come to see a psychic. Because I'm not considered a psychic. I'm considered a friend. I mean that. But I'm not being sugarly sweet.
No.
I told Jill when she was in bed, you never hurt anybody.
Yeah.
Because it's going to come back and hurt you. That's karma.
It is.
Right.
It is. And I believe in karma.
But, the tuchus is getting bigger.
By the way, ladies, by the way, this portion...
The reason she's heavy is because she writes the books for Michelle.
All right. Ladies, I just have to say something here. This portion of the X Zone is being brought to you by Weight Watchers. If you'd like more information on Weight Watchers and how to lose up to 500 pounds...
Can I send her a deal?
Call 1-800, I am 500 pounds. There you go.
Oh, God. I want to come up and see you.
Anytime.
And your station.
Anytime.
I'd love to.
Anytime. So, Jill, where do you think this is? Like you're a psychic, Jill. I'm going to ask you to put on your psychic hat and take a look into a couple of months from now. Where do you see this ending? This useless feud that is just causing a lot of pain and hurt and stress for your family. Like, how's your husband? How I hear how it's affecting Micki. But I know you're married. I know you've got children. How is it affecting your family?
Well, my son is. He them, and then they wrote, "Oh, look, a stalker here," because he basically told her to stop.
Yeah.
And it's bothering my son, and my kids are my life. My husband refuses. I did lectures every time I used to do lectures, which I still do, a lot of lectures.
Right.
Jill,
we're starting to lose you again. We're starting to lose you again.
I'm sorry?
Jill. We're starting to lose your feed.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you
now.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Okay. Her boyfriend sent her boyfriend into one of my lectures. And I had to call the head of who was holding the lectures for me to have him removed. My husband won't come to my lectures. Everyone always says, "Where's your husband, Jill? We're dying to meet him." And we didn't get my basically, but we got married when I was 32. He won't come. I don't need my husband to get, arrested.
Jill, you're breaking up again, honey. You're cutting in and out.
It's cutting in and out. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Yeah, we can hear you now, dear.
Okay. My husband won't come to the lectures. And I can't because I don't think my husband he looks like a soprano, but he's a sweetheart inside, you know.
He's my baby.
And he's Israeli, and he's beautiful, and he's the nicest person in the world, but he won't stand for someone hurting me.
Hey.
And he's never had to go around anyone hurting me. So I don't want him at the lectures because I don't need him to get arrested for someone like that. They're not worth it.
All right, Jill, stand by. Micki, stand by. We've got to take our final break. X-Zone Nation, the one and only Micki Dahne and her beautiful daughter and a good friend of the X-Zone, Jill Dahne, the love psychic, both our guests tonight. And if you'd like to get a private one-on-one reading with Jill Dahne, visit her website. It's a great website. You'd learn a lot. www.jilldahne.com. That's www.jilldahne, and Dahne is DAHNE.com. I'm Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone. Whatever you do, don't go away. We'll wrap up this hour when we come back. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone radio show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone broadcast network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365.
Wouldn't you love to know the secret to everything? Well then, meet Dr. Kimberly McGeorge and her cutting-edge breakthrough knowledge that combines science with possibility. Dr. Kimberly brings real-life answers and healing to those open to alternative solutions. She teaches solution-based programs and classes that will change all areas of your life forever. Specializing in conscious creation, intuitive readings, and energy medicine, you can rapidly shift health, relationships, business, and money and abundance challenges quickly. Receive her best-selling book, Secret to Everything, at no cost by going to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone. That's right, transformation can start now. Just go to secrettoeverything.com/X-Zone and receive Dr. Kimberly's book for free.
While science pursues fact, magic accesses the quantum level, bridging random facts to form truth. As long as science and magic remain separate and polarized, the truth cannot be known. I'm Gwilda Wiyaka. Join me on the Science of Magic radio program, dedicated to unification and evolution of consciousness. During each episode, I'll be speaking with experienced and respected scientists and mystics. From astrologers to astronomers, from medical doctors to shaman, the scientific method to dowsing and intuition, we'll weave together information from seemingly divergent practices to promote unity and enlightenment. Join me, Gwilda Wiyaka, and the Science of Magic right here on the Mutual Broadcast Network. For more information, visit www.thescienceofmagic.net.
I am Dr. Carl O'Helvey, founder, president of a new cancer foundation focusing on evidence-based physical, mental, and spiritual interventions, including natural cancer cures, prayer, meditation, affirmations, nutrition, and other related holistic cancer prevention and cure modalities. These are used in cancer education, research, and financing care. I ask for your help to continue this important work by donating at www.holisticcancerfoundation.com.
Nation, do you remember that Juicy Fruit gum commercial, double your pleasure, double your fun? Well, I'm doubling your pleasure this hour because we have the Dahne family combo here. We have Micki Dahne, internationally renowned psychic, and her daughter, Jill Dahne, the one and only love psychic, who is also internationally acclaimed, here tonight in the X-Zone. Ladies, love having you with us. Great talking to you. Jill, you wanted to tell us a little story about a rabbi.
Yes. Well, I have rabbis that fly in to see me every year, and priests. But these rabbis, there was this one rabbi, his name was Rabbi Kadori, and he was the highest rabbi in Israel. Back in 1992, I had the pleasure to sit with him for 5 hours. So he was very intuitive, and I had an interpreter there, and he grabbed my hands, and he said to me, this was in 92, he said, I feel sorry for you 10 years from now. And I said, what do you mean you feel sorry for me? He says, you are going to get involved with a person. And I said, okay, is it a good or bad? Well, if I'm telling you I feel sorry for you, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
And they described this person. Red hair to the T. He said, you are never going to be able to release this person. I said I can release anybody in my mind, but who would hurt me? I've been with my mom on radio and TV since I was a child.
Right.
I've dealt with so many beautiful people. I've never come across anybody, that was vindictive or mean or, wears a mask, claims they're spiritual and then they do these mean things. So I've never come across anybody like that. I was shocked. And he says, I'm preparing you. I said, don't prepare me. Don't do this to me. So he put these 2 bracelets on my arm. And he warned me about certain things. And he said these things to me. And he says, this person is going to attack you over and over and over. I'm like, isn't there a way to stop this? You're a rabbi. So we go fast forward. I leave Israel. That's 92. And then here we go. In 2000, bam, this redhead, exactly what he said. He said she paints nails and then became psychic. So I'm like, okay. And then everything he said has happened. So the 2 bracelets, I wear eye bracelets, and eye bracelets are good. They're called good luck eyes, and I've been wearing them ever since that rabbi put them on. And every time a rabbi comes in from Israel, they put them on my arms, and they're blessed by a priest and a rabbi up there. So I had the 2 on my arms for the longest time. I had this dream just before October, I think it was October 21st. I had this dream with this person in my dream. When I woke up, my husband said to me, Jill, your bracelets are all over the bed. Pick them up. The dogs are going to eat the beads. Both bracelets broke. And the myth on the bracelets are, if somebody is doing something bad to you, they break.
Oh my
they
gosh.
break. It's a myth. It's whatever you believe in, but that's the myth for the eye bracelets. And it's amazing. Both bracelets, that rabbi kept on me for all those years. I took showers with them, went to the beach with them, never broke. That night in my dream, and then on the 25th, this all started, of them sending out things. So it was like trying to give me a warning or protection.
She's sick, Joe. She's a sick broad. I've never called anyone a broad before, but she is broad. In fact, the lady that writes her book because she doesn't write those books, I know that, is broad on the butt, you know. So they order, I'm sorry, but it's true. They try to get to me. They figured send flowers, candy, cake. In fact, one of the pieces I got dizzy after eating it, and I didn't know where I was.
Oh my God!
So I have a feeling that if they're involved in drugs, I'm sure.
Don't say that. You don't know that for sure, but you know.
Why would that piece of cake?
Maybe something was wrong with cake. You can't say
that.
Cake.
Cake is my best friend along with ice cream. You know I love ice cream.
Jill, with all the people,
no, it's their negative energy of what they do.
They do terrible things. Terrible.
Horrible. Behind the scenes, and then they come out to be like they're this wonderful person, and they're not. What they just did recently was uncalled for. Horrible.
Jill, with everyone out there who, who is claiming to be a psychic, and with all the people who are seeking psychic advice or psychic consultations, why would she have to go through this? Why is she bound and determined to literally destroy you and your mom?
It's called jealousy, and what happened was when my mom had a back surgery and her heart surgery.
Right.
She had a bypass. So what happened was my brother was taking care of her because I travel and I do lectures and I have children.
And two dogs.
And two dogs, and I could not be there for my mom every day. So my brother ended up coming to take care of my mom and was doing, my mom was not in the right state of mind because of my brother, and he called upon these two people. Now, these two people thrived to do anything to put, we have Micki, let's put Jill down, let's, we're going to chum up Micki, let's put Jill down. And my mom wasn't all there at that time because of the medication.
Right.
And they went ahead, and that's what they do. They try to, I don't understand, if someone is spiritual, they don't do things like this. And then they try to reverse it like I'm a bad person. I've never hurt anybody in my life.
No,
never.
But it doesn't spirituality have two sides? You have those who practice good spirituality, and then you have those who practice the evil side or the negative side of spirituality.
Right, and it's the negative side. That's what it is. Rob, a girl came to see me. This was like 5 years ago. And I just had a bad feeling, and I said, "Oh, by the way," because I didn't book her to come see me, and I said, "By the way, how did you hear about me? I always like to know."
Sure. I
thought it was from a TV show I just did. So she says, she mentions the person's name that, and I'm like, "Oh my God, no, I am not talking to this person. Why would that person recommend me?" Right?
Right.
Well, I said, you know what? I will talk to her. I spoke to her for an hour. She said I blew her mind away, that no one would know. And I only had one cassette tape in my office at the time. And she said, I will be right back. And she went to the store, and she went to Office Depot and left a gigantic box of over 200 cassette tapes in front of my door with a note thanking me for the most amazing session she ever had in her life. But what was done was that person that we're talking about sent that person thinking that I wouldn't do, that she could sit there and say something bad about me. And that girl said, whatever that person said about you, Jill, you blew my mind. You're the most genuine person in the world.
I agree with her. But Jill,
but do you see? It's horrible.
It is. But I believe in karma. What goes around comes around, and payback's a bitch. And this person that we're talking.
Are you right? Oh, are you right?
This person.
I believe it.
Yeah, she's going to get hers.
This one.
I'm sorry, Rob?
She's going to get hers, but I don't understand the logic behind it. Why you? You know, like you said, you've never, I've known you many years, Jill, and I've never heard you say a bad word against anyone.
No one.
So
No one.
I'm wondering why this person is attacking you in such a vicious, malice, horrific way. What does she hope to accomplish? All that's going to happen is that she's going to be exposed for the fraud and the charlatan she is. She's going to lose everything she's been trying to get. Doesn't that ring true with her?
Yes, that does ring true. But
Jill's great-grandfather, my father, Harold Blumenthal, was the head of RKO and Warner Brothers.
Right.
And even Walter Winchell, what a mean thing he was. He was really a rough, writer. And when my father died, he wrote, "If every band walked such as he and talked such as he, this would be a God's paradise." Now, coming from Walter Winchell, unbelievable. But Jill takes after her grandfather.
I take after you, too.
Me, too. Well, I take after my father. But Jill can't hurt. She can't stand. This is the girl whose dog had to be put down, and she gave the dog bagels and cream cheese and kissed him and cried. She's unbelievable with animals, with babies, with people. I've never heard her do a mean thing, ever. Yeah. And I've known her whole life, obviously.
I hope so. But you know what, Micki? You were her teacher.
Yes.
You were her mentor. She learned all these wonderful attributes that make Jill Dahne who she is. She learned from you as well as the experiences that she has gained through life. So you've got to take a lot of the credit, Micki. You've got to take it, dear.
Did you hear that? You have a lot of credit.
Oh,
I learned it all from you.
Well, you did. She's put me to shame many times. I took her to Portland, Oregon, and we were near Mount St. Helen. I was doing an Elvis Presley concert, and she looked up at this mountain, and she thought it was so beautiful, but she said to the host, "That top isn't going to be there." She was 14. "That top isn't going to be there." And he looked at her, "You're kidding, that's Mount St. Helen." Well, 2 days later, the top blew off.
Yeah.
Mount St. Helen had a horrible, horrible, horrible thing happen. And that's Jill.
The volcano
erupted. Now I take her wherever I go. I'm not going to take you anymore. I took her to a show in, where was that? Where was the Hanufri Uprising?
Oh, I did. I was 13. That was before I did the show in the John Eastman show.
John Eastman show. A friend of mine. All these talk hosts are friends of mine and friends of Jill's. So I took her there, and all of a sudden she says, "There's going to be something like an uprising. Hanufri. I said, "What's Hanufri?" Muslim. Hanufri, you said. And sure enough, it made a book. It made Ripley's Believe It or Not. She was on a bigger page than I was. So I can't take her anymore.
Oh, geez. Okay, ladies, stand by. We've got to take a fast break here. X-Zone Nation, Jill and Micki Dahne. Micki is the renowned international psychic who was the mentor and is the mother of the one and only Jill Dahne, our beloved love psychic. And they're both going to be back on the other side of this break as we continue here in the X-Zone from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. If you'd like to contact Jill Dahne for a one-on-one private consultation, her website is jilldahne.com, JILLDAHNE.com. I'm Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone. Don't go away.
As host of Dialogue with Divinity, I am thrilled to join the X-Zone Broadcast Network and their growing number of affiliates. My quest for a connection to the divine ignited my successful career path as an international spiritual counselor for over 40 years, and author of 4 books, and well-known metaphysical educator. My clients call me their spiritual mama. So my job is to offer you a radio show to help you grow spiritually with wisdom and get specific tools from guests who are experts in their field. Tune in to Dialogue with Divinity and be part of the conversation with Spirit. My goal, your happy soul. For more information, please visit my website at johannacarroll.com.
Coming soon to the X-Zone Broadcast Network is A Different Perspective with me, Kevin Randle, as your host. We'll be taking a close look at what is happening in the world of UFOs today with side trips into the paranormal. Guests will range from those who are household names to those who have a different perspective on a variety of topics. No topic will be taboo, but there will be tough questions asked as we all search for the truth about UFOs, the paranormal, and those things that excite us. Sometimes we'll agree with a guest and sometimes we won't, but we'll try to keep the program topical. For those of you who would like to read, be sure to visit www.kevinrandle.blogspot.com and remember to listen to the other fine programs on the X-Zone Broadcast Network at www.xzbn.net. This is Kevin Randle. For nearly 30 years, I have been investigating the case of the Roswell UFO. I have interviewed hundreds of people and stood on the crash site. Now in Roswell in the 21st century, I have reviewed dozens of hours of audio and videotaped interviews, examined hundreds of files that relate to the crash, and have returned to Roswell in an attempt to put all that information into the proper perspective. For the first time in Roswell in the 21st century, I have made a dispassionate reevaluation of all that material and provide a new look at what happened. This is a book that clears away all the clutter that has hidden the truth for so long, strips away the various lies that surround the case, exposes the Air Force attempts at cover-up, and found a core of solid information that tells us all where the case stands today. Roswell in the 21st century will be available in just a few weeks. For more information, please visit my website at www.kevinrandle.blogspot.com.
Afterlife expert Roberta Grimes was the first one to say that dying can be fun. Now her best-selling book, The Fun of Dying, is available in stores worldwide. So if you wonder whether death ends life, how it feels to die, or what heaven might be like, The Fun of Dying was written for you. And if you have always been afraid of death, or if you worry that your life has no meaning, let The Fun of Dying ease your fears and bring new meaning to your life. Nothing said in The Fun of Dying is based on the teachings of any religion. Instead, Roberta draws on evidence to explain how death happens, how it feels, and what comes next. A lot of the best death-related evidence was produced in the first half of the 20th century. When it is put together with recent discoveries, it tells a consistent and amazing story. Roberta Grimes blogs and answers questions at robertagrimes.com. Her wonderful book, The Fun of Dying, is available on Amazon and at stores worldwide wherever books are sold.
All right, my producer has to tell you, one and all, that the segment wasn't sponsored by Weight Watchers. So there you go. We did our legal bit here. Exonation. Jill Dahne and Micki Dahne. Jenny Craig.
Shame on you both.
If you could only see the expression on my producer's face. The poor guy just aged 20 years. Jill Dahne and her mom, Micki Dahne, two very, very well-known and highly respected members of the psychic community, are our guests this hour. Jill, as always, great talking to you. Micki, welcome to the X-Zone.
Yep.
We hope to have you back on again in the future. Jill, is there anything you'd like to wrap up with this? Because I'd like to get some predictions from you before we say goodbye.
Well, I want to say one thing. Thank you for having me on. I never talk about this to anybody, and I feel like I'm healing from doing this through everything I've been through, and especially with you. You know how much I adore you. I think you are my favorite in the whole wide world. So it's true. And second, I want you drinking water.
Yeah, I have to now
Our
drink
water too.
I have to now drink 6 to 8 glasses of water a day for the next 2 months.
Aloe.
Aloe?
Aloe water.
Aloe water. Okay, I will go out and get some tomorrow. I will go down
It comes in a green bottle.
Yep.
Green bottle.
I used to drink it, and I stopped for some reason, but I will go back out to Goodness Me and get some tomorrow.
And then also, once that's done, every week at least 3 glasses of pomegranate juice.
Can I mix it with Jack Daniels?
Yeah, I would.
Okay.
I don't drink alcohol, but it sounds very good.
We can call it a Jill Dane.
That sounds good to me.
There you go. Pomegranate, a shot of Jack Daniels in a glass of pomegranate juice is now officially a Jill Dane.
It's called the Jill Dane drink.
Jill Dane, right.
I'll drink it in spirit.
There you go. Well, you know, Jill, you and I have known each other for years. You've always had an open book with us here, and it bothered me when I learned about what was going on, and that's why I think I got wind of this, and within a minute I was on the line to you, because this was not the Jill Dane that I know. This was somebody who was trying to be very nasty, and you know, I just want people to know that from my heart of hearts, I believe in karma. And if somebody goes out deliberately to harm someone, it's going to bite them right in the butt. And like you said, Jill, it may not be today, it might not be tomorrow, but it will happen. And
a big butt.
Yeah. I don't know what to say to that one.
I need that laugh. That's funny.
Laugh is medicine for the soul.
Yeah.
So Jill, with the election,
get ready.
With the
I want to say one thing.
Sure.
Get ready. Canada is going to pass marijuana. Okay, cannabis, and they are going to be coming out with those patches of cannabis instead of like patches for smoking or patches for pain.
Capsules.
Yeah, it's all coming out of Canada, and it's going to be legalized in Canada. So remember that. Remember, I've been predicting about marijuana and cannabis for years.
You're going to have a wedding there with Prince Harry. I'm so excited.
You know,
he's marrying a beautiful girl.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And you know what? I'm very proud to be a member of the Crown. Like every year, and I'm going to tell you this, and I haven't told many people this, every year I send the Queen a letter just to see how she is. And pardon?
Oh, wow.
You know, I feel that she's a person, and she needs to know that there are people who love, respect, and care for her. And
that's true.
And I always, since I've been 5 years old, my mom got me to doing this when the Queen visited Montreal going back that many years ago. And I still send her a letter, and I always get a reply. It has never been by Her Majesty herself, but, you know, the First Lady in Waiting. And it's like, thank you. Well, you know what? She's a person. She needs to know that she's loved. And I did this. I did it very fast when everything was going down and the negativity around the royal family during the time of Princess Diana's untimely passing.
Horrible.
And you know what? People need to know they're loved. So many people take for granted.
Your sign is the goddess of love, Taurus Libra, and you are a lover. You really are. You're kind. I'm sure that grandchild of yours just glows from you. Because we glow from you out here.
God bless you guys.
You're wonderful, wonderful.
Well, I've been fortunate enough.
My mother confirmed about the TV show, so I love that.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did. Jill, I just want to say that if there's anything, and I mean anything, we can do, whether it's with the X-Zone Radio Show or any of the part of the company that Relmar runs or is part of, to help you in any way, you just have to make that phone call to me.
Oh, you're the best. Thank you. Thank you, Rob.
You're more than welcome.
Thank you so much.
Maybe you can talk to that witch. Rob.
Well, you know what?
Yes.
If
Yes, maybe
if
he
you
could.
if
Yeah.
you know that if Jill would like me to, I'd have no objections to it. But this has got to be something that Jill has to come to that.
Jill is too soft and too mellow, and believe it or not, praise for the people that hurt her. She takes after her grandfather that way.
You know, she surrounds herself, Rob, with these spiritual people, right?
Yeah.
And I did a conference. I'll never forget this. I did a conference a year ago with a very dear friend of mine who's spiritual, and this person that Michelle would go, I just said the name, would go to their events. You could bleep that out. And
Michelle.
Okay, a bird. And would go to the events. And so this person comes over to me and says, "Oh, it's such a pleasure to meet you. I've been dying to meet you," and everything. And she sold St. Anthony and St. Michael statues. And I said, "Oh, I would love to buy one." But I had my guards up, because my intuition's always correct.
Yeah.
And so a friend of mine, some people were warning me, and my friend says, "Oh, Jill, can you put her her festival on your show?" And I said, "Sure." So this person writes me this magnificent, "Jill, you are incredible. You're blah, blah, blah. You're, where we both shared the beautiful light." And I felt something not right. When this person writes this thing about me, this person that I felt was not right wrote, "I felt that energy trying to swoop into me." So I wrote that person. I said, "Really? I'm shocked. You just gave my daughter in February a hug." These are the type of, they're crows. I don't know how to explain it, but it's like crows everywhere. There are people that birds of a feather flock together, if I could say.
That's right.
You understand, Rob?
I certainly do. I certainly do. But I feel very bad for people who go to these people for insight, for their spirituality, when they're getting everything in reverse. It's like looking through the looking glass, expecting one thing and getting the exact opposite.
Exactly. And they think that they're telling people, "I copy her predictions." Her predictions are not even going anywhere. When I was on Channel 7, Deco Drive, I said Beyonce and Jay-Z are getting married. No one knew they were getting married. And I said a baby afterwards. And they claimed that they were never getting married. It would never happen. So where do I copy these predictions? Who would want to copy predictions like that?
Yeah.
Each person has their own mind and makes their own predictions. And this is the type of people, this is the words that they give out. They're just, oh God, it's just aggravating.
Not worth talking about.
It's not worth talking. Yeah, you're right, Mom.
But sometimes you need to get it off your chest, because if you keep it all corked inside, it does more damage to you, the person that does not deserve this.
Well, she doesn't keep it inside. She lets me have it. And when I have it, I want to go over and sock the girl, but I can't. I'm too old.
Besides that, you're too sweet.
You're too sweet. You are sweet.
Listen, ladies, we have to say so long for now. But, Jill, we're going to be doing a psychic show towards the end of December. I'd love to have you on, and if possible, your mom on.
Definitely. I'd love to.
Get your predictions for 2017.
Oh, I would love that. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, and I would love to come back.
And of course,
for the predictions.
You are always welcomed here. And Jill and Micki, thank you ever so much for both of you joining us tonight. It has been my great pleasure and honor having you both on the show.
My pleasure.
And
my pleasure. I'm related to this.
And
really.
And listen,
Jill says such wonderful things about you.
Oh, thank you. And like I said, Jill, if there's anything we can do, you know how to contact me, and I'll help you any way I can.
Thank you,
With
Rob.
you, I think of clear water and brooks and fine water, and with the other person, I think of tar that you do a road with.
500-pound tar bunny. There you go. Ladies,
There you go.
take care of yourselves. Thank you so much, Jill. Thank
I
you so
will.
much, Micki. Take
Thank
care.
you.
God
Thank
bless you
you.
both.
Thank you, baby. Thank you.
Bye-bye, sweeties. Exo Nation, our
God
two
bless.
very special guests this hour, Micki and Jill Dahne. And if you'd like to get a private one-on-one consultation with Jill, her website is www.jilldahne.com. I'll be back on the other side of this break as we talk about holiday stress here in the X Zone with yours truly, Rob McConnell, from our broadcast center in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Don't go away.